national security advisor, sitting up there taking the Fifth Amendment?
Well, it's a difficult position. The president has said he wants all of his people to cooperate. On the other hand, he has pointed out, as have others this morning, and I think quite rightfully, that everyone has a right to his constitutional guarantees and his constitutional rights. And so it's up to the individual and his lawyer to decide whether to invoke them. The president said the other day that he was certainly not going to advise people to do it, but on the other hand, it's not unusual, as Tim O'Brien has pointed out, before an investigation really gets started and people like independent counsels get into the act, for lawyers to advise their clients simply not to testify. So on the one hand, the White House has an official position that it wants everyone to cooperate. On the other, it must understand that a lot of people in the country who don't know all about the niceties of the law see these distinguished people, Colonel North called a national hero by the president, refusing to testify on the grounds that their testimony might tend to incriminate them. Peter?
Thanks, Sam, very much. Let's go very briefly to John McWethy, who's at the State Department. John, in the wake of the Secretary of State's testimony yesterday, has he had any second thoughts about what he had to say?
He has had several additional things to say on his way to Europe, the most important of which is that he indicated, yes, he had some hints during late 1985 and 86 that some things were going on that he might not have known about. He said on his plane on the way to Europe that he asked Admiral Poindexter and William Casey what was going on, and he was told by both of those gentlemen that it was nothing, the operation had stood down.
Okay, John, thanks very much. John McWethy at the State Department, Sam Donaldson, and our particular thanks this morning to our law correspondent, Tim O'Brien, who helps get us through that. On World News Tonight, we will have a complete wrap-up of today's events, not only on Capitol Hill. There are other committees trying to elicit information from individuals who may or may not have been involved in this affair. And as you have heard this morning, the House Foreign Affairs Committee unsuccessful in eliciting information from Admiral Poindexter, the president's former national security advisor, and Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, who was fired from his job when it was revealed that arms money from Iran was diverted to the countries in Central America. See you on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings in New York. Thank you for joining us.
This special report came to you from ABC News. We now resume our regular program schedule after this from our local stations.
The arms scandal. ABC's John McWethy reported on what George Shultz would say before the hearings began. Barbara Walters told how money was channeled through the secret Swiss bank account. And tonight, the mystery man, General Richard Secord, on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
For a beautiful gift that will be remembered and treasured forever, give a gift certificate for a hot air balloon ride over the scenic St. Croix Valley. Just call Balloons at Stillwater Honda, 439-1800. There are few experiences as great as drifting slowly over the earth in a hot air balloon. For this unique and exciting gift, fly with the professionals and call Balloons at Stillwater Honda, 439-1800. Major credit cards are accepted.
The perfect gift for everyone on your list. An AT&T long-distance gift certificate. The people present.
It's a lovely cat, Tommy. Cow? Of course, cow.
A gift that speaks from the heart.
Don came down with a cold, and guess who got the job?
AT&T long-distance gift certificates. Get a cute and cuddly bear free when you buy 2 $25 gift packs at Marquette Banks. AT&T, the right choice.
Hi, this is Play It Again Sports, a consignment sporting goods store.
A place where you can actually get money for your used sports equipment.
That's right. Bring in all your used sporting goods. You'd be surprised how much money you have in your basement, garage, or kids' closets. Bring in hockey equipment, skis, skates, exercise equipment, just about any sporting goods.
Play It Again Sports, a place where you can not only save money on good new and used equipment, but earn money, too. Now at 2 locations, our new North Store in Brooklyn Park on Highway 169, and our South Store on 35th and Hennepin.
Mary Lou Retton and Dr. Ruth on the Hollywood Squares.
Here today. Good morning. I'm Bob Bruce, and welcome to Twin Cities Live. Do That To Me One More Time is just one of the many great hits of the Captain and Tennille, including Muskrat Love, which was my personal favorite, The Way That I Want to Touch You, and of course their first big hit, which went to #1 in 1975, Love Will Keep Us Together. How can we forget that? The year 1975 was also special to Daryl Dragon and Toni Tennille because it was the year that they were married. 11 years later, they're still making music together, still married, and we will find out the key to the musical marriage of the Captain and Tennille right here, next on Twin Cities Live. Good morning and welcome to Twin Cities Live. What a group we have today. You're in a good mood. Especially up in here. I gotta be careful when I go back into that segment. We're very happy to have Toni Tennille and Daryl Dragon with us today, the Captain and Tennille. And Toni, I had a chance to meet you last year. We did a good company show together, and you sang with the Minnesota Orchestra.
Right.
But the Captain wasn't here. This is the first time I've had a chance to see you in the flesh, and it's great to meet you.
I like cold weather. Yeah.
You like cold weather?
No.
And well, there are only about 3 days you can come here when it's not cold. No, it's a little chilly outside today. You know, you've been a couple. You've been married now 11 years.
11 years. We had our 11/11/11 anniversary. Our 11th anniversary on the 11th of November. This past November.
Congratulations.
Yay! Still going strong.
Now, being married in show business is not one of the easiest tasks in life. So many couples break apart. There's competition, especially when you're performing together and you're with each other all the time. How have you been able to stay together for such a long time and be happy and continue to work and prosper?
I think it's easier because we have been together. In fact, you know, when I was here in Minnesota last time with the orchestra, that's a solo thing that I do separate from Daryl that I have been for the past 2 years. I think it's more difficult for me to be on the road without him than it is to be with him. We really it hasn't been hard for us.
Well, there's not competition, number one. I don't sing. You know, I just sit back and play the keyboards, basically, which is, you know, that's like a whole different career, really. Tony's an entertainer. I'm more of a musician, and now I'm into computers. Most musicians are finding themselves in computers today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, actually, when Daryl said we work as a team, it's true. We're doing a new Captain and Tennille album right now, the first one we've done in many years. And I've written 7 of the 10 tunes that are going to be on it. And it works really well because I write the song, then I give it to Daryl, and he produces and arranges it. So there really isn't any competition. We work together.
Why has it been so long since the last Captain and Tennille album? I mean, millions of fans all over the United States, and they've been wanting it. Why haven't you come out?
Have you noticed the last 5 years you may not have been turning on the radio as much, hearing songs you might not maybe enjoyed or not enjoyed? I think there's a problem in the industry where they have to find out what the people like again, and it's taking a while.
Well, what type of music are you referring to?
Well, the disco era kind of threw the whole thing for a loop for a while.
Well, that's been. It's a funny thing, you know. We were with CBS, we were with A&M Records, then Casablanca, for which we had "Do That to Me One More Time," which was the second biggest record in our career. And then we just things just didn't happen. Polygram fell apart, our record company.
Yeah, there were a lot of shakeups in the industry.
And then we never got started again. So
well, the record industry has not been all that healthy.
Not recently. No, it really hasn't. And so we just kind of laid back and let things go on without us. Now we're ready to jump back in.
There have been a lot of groups that have broken out of Europe recently, you know, and then they come here. You probably noticed a lot of groups, Police and Men at Work from Australia.
Yeah.
When Toni started appearing on her own, did you feel? I'm sure you heard from a lot of fans. Well, whatever happened to Daryl? Whatever happened to the Captain?
All the time.
I mean, is there marriage on the outs here?
Are you still married? They'd see me. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah. People don't understand when they see me doing this separate thing, which is really what I call classic standards. It's the classic Gershwin and Kern and Irving Berlin, that kind of music. Daryl is rock and roll. He doesn't do that. He's not interested in that kind of music. But when people saw me performing solo, they immediately think, well, they're not married anymore.
Yeah.
And I've heard that so much.
Are you married? Why?
Yes.
We just thought we'd set the record straight.
Yes. We're married and in love, and we've never, ever been apart. We've never been separate, regardless of whatever you read in the National Enquirer or whatever.
Yeah.
We've never been apart.
Well, we're going to do something a little different here because we wanted to get Daryl on the piano because he is an incredible musician. And if we could have you play a little something for us here on Twin Cities Live, we appreciate it.
If it isn't too early for rock and roll.
Yeah.
No, it's never too early for rock and roll. This is our grand,
our semi-grand, right?
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Well, see, I don't do much singing, as you know. So what we'd like to do is, I do this in the show. I do this little Fats Domino medley, and Can we all sing along, you think? Do we all know this?
Sing, clap, and...
Found my thread.
You're sounding good back here.
The moon stood still. Terrible key, girl. On Blueberry Hill. It lingered until my dream came true. Go, Daryl, you're on your own. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. We'll do another one there.
What did you say, Daryl?
We'll do a little Richard a little later.
What brought you two together? Was it the music first, or was it romance, or...
No.
No? What?
Well, music brought us together. We met in San Francisco. I had written a musical called Mother Earth, and we needed a new keyboard player, and he flew up to San Francisco to meet me, and I hired him to work for me. And then later on, after my show closed, he hired me to work for him, work with the Beach Boys, playing piano for them. So music really kind of started the whole thing.
Got to take a break right here. When we come back, we'll have much more with the Captain and Tennille here on Twin Cities Live. Don't go away.
Seastead's is 4 floors of carpets and linoleum plus thousands of remnants with discounts up to 90%. Seastead's, a block and a half east of Gaultier, open daily until 8:30, Saturdays till 4.
Now your old favorite, Chex Party Mix. Crunchy peanuts, pretzels, and deliciously seasoned Chex cereal isn't just for parties anymore. Because now, it's in a box. Chex Brand Snack Mix, the brand new snack you've loved for years.
Globe College of Business.
Being at Globe has changed my life quite a bit. I had been a homemaker previously, and getting out into the world, the business world particularly, and learning the ins and outs, and getting along with people. It's built my self-confidence. I've learned a lot about relationships with others.
Globe College of Business. Turn your world around. Call 224-4378.
The stars, what secrets do they hold for you? Love, success, wealth? Now, Jean Dixon charts your horoscope and guides you through the day with her new daily action guide. Let Jean help you make the right decision at the right time 3 times a day. Call 976-3333. Don't have a touch-tone phone? You can still get your daily horoscope. Reach for the stars. Call Jean Dixon's horoscope and daily action guide now. 976-3333. Only 95 cents per call.
Well, are you ready for it? Christmas is almost, about 2 weeks away. It's getting really, really close. Does that make you feel excited or a little stressed out? Now, for many people, the hustle and bustle of shopping for all the gifts, decorating the house, planning the family gathering can turn what is supposed to be a joyous and bright holiday season into a very blue one, a lot of depression. There are ways, however, to change holiday blues into holiday happiness. And tomorrow on Twin Cities Live, we will give you some practical tips on how to prevent seasonal depression. You can call us at 641-1298 for free tickets, be part of our studio audience, and find out how you can do it all and still enjoy the holidays. A big task. 641-1298 is the number to call to reserve your seats. That's tomorrow on Twin Cities Live.
It must have been moonblow
where there's music, how faint the tune. Somewhere there's heaven, how high the moon.
Whoa! We're talking, that's not the same image you once had.
No, it's, well, I don't know. We all grow up, I guess, eventually.
Boy, that's hot there. That's...
Well, good. I'm glad you like that. That's good.
Did you like that image? It looks nice. Yeah. Good morning. Thank you for holding on the line. Go ahead. You're on Twin Cities Live, talking to the Captain and Tennille.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
I have a question for Daryl.
It's me.
Yeah, that's you. Okay, Daryl, I understand, and you just mentioned briefly, or Toni did, that you were associated with the Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it was one of the Beach Boys that gave you the nickname Captain Keyboard. Is that true?
In a way, yeah. For
Which
publicity.
one was it?
Well, it was more, I called myself Captain Keyboard. I actually just picked up an old hat like this and put it on and says, as a joke, I says, hey, I'm Captain Keyboard, and they gave me a solo and helped me, Rhonda. I'll play it for you.
Boy, you can't keep it down.
That same old thing I was doing. And I said it as a joke and got a real good reaction. Captain Keyboard, and then 10,000 people saw that my name was Captain Keyboard, and from then on it kind
But,
of
honey,
stuck.
Mike Love was the one who introduced you. Yes, that's...
He didn't think of it.
That's what I'd heard.
Yeah.
I have one other question for you.
Go ahead.
Were you playing keyboards with the Beach Boys while Brian was active in the group or not?
Only time I was on stage with Brian was at the Whiskey A Go-Go, that's what it was called back then, in Hollywood. And that was about 4 days, and that was it. Because I actually took the place. What?
Did Brian have any animosity towards you since he...
No, he was probably glad I was doing it all the time because I was hired to take his place, you know. And and it was not really a problem because Brian is such a genius and a composer in his own way. He doesn't think on that level of...
He didn't really want to go on the road anymore, as I understand it. He wanted to stay home to be able to write and produce without the pressures of being on the road.
Oh, we had Stephen Gaines who wrote the book. I think it's called Heroes and Villains.
Wonderful. I just read the book,
and, fascinating reading. But you were with the Beach Boys for how long, Daryl?
I was with them for about 6.5 years.
He didn't mention you in the book.
No. Well, I didn't want to talk to him.
Well, really?
Well,
maybe that's why he didn't mention you.
That's probably what happened. I was called to talk for an interview, and I called before I talked to anyone. I have allegiance to the Beach Boys, and I called the Beach Boys. I asked them, should I okay this? And they said, we'd rather you not talk, or you know, we don't think that maybe it's good for our careers. And I heard some things about the Beach Boys that I don't know. So I decided to pass.
Good morning. You're in Twin Cities Live. Go right ahead.
Yes, I'd like to ask Daryl about his hat. I'd seen a show when you used to be on TV that you had buried your head at sea.
Oh, gosh, you remember that. That's great.
Well, there's 72 more of them.
My favorite song has always been Muskrat Love.
Oh, that's
great. Yeah, that's my favorite. Go ahead.
In the show business industry, it seems like there's so many egos and you could get really wrapped up into it. How do you balance your life to keep it normal, so to speak?
One of the main things we did was moving to Lake Tahoe. We got totally out of Los Angeles. Probably we would be a lot better off in our careers if we had stayed in LA and gone to the big parties and gone to the premieres and the benefits, because frankly that's where a lot of jobs are gotten and a lot of contacts are made are at these parties. And we have very few people in our life that are show business people who are our close friends.
I was brought up in a show business family, and I rubbed elbows with Gordon McRae and Danny Thomas and all these people. They came to parties at our house, and I just didn't want to. That was not what my goal was, to be that part of the industry, of the flash of the Hollywood scene. So.
Do you still have your 2 dogs, and what do you do with them when you're on the road? Who takes care of them?
We may not have the 2 dogs you're talking about. We still have our bulldog Peaches, which we bought here in Minneapolis 9 years ago, last month, from Joyce and Carl Dingman, who live here. We still have her, but we now have a wolf shepherd dog also. And we have a dog sitter. We have a young man who stays in our house and cares for our dogs while we're gone. That's it.
One of them looks like this.
Yeah, Spooner looks kind of like this.
It's a portrait of
yeah, I wear Spooner's face.
Go ahead, you're on Twin Cities Live. You're talking to the Captain and Tennille. Go right ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I was just going to address this to Toni, or to Toni and Daryl. Have you considered having a family, or is there a reason that, maybe children would interfere with your careers? Thank you.
It's not that it would interfere with the career, it's that we have some medical problems in the history of the family that we thought it would be best if we did not have children. So that's why we didn't. And also, it would have been difficult to have children in this kind of business. I wouldn't be on the road, I'd be home. So there wouldn't be any touring if I'd had children.
In looking back through your career, especially with you, Toni, I was looking at your experiences with television.
Mm-hmm.
And you were quoted as saying that the first television show that you did, which was very successful, I think it was on ABC, wasn't it?
Yes, it was ABC.
That you really didn't like it, and that you were not pleased with some of the things that you had to do, some of the jokes or whatever, and that, and then you went, and Daryl, maybe you want to comment on this.
It's all right. What, is that the end of the question? Or?
No, jump right in here.
Well, just like today, at least I'm able to say what I'm thinking, even though it may be ambiguous, but before it was, when we had our TV show, the producer originally had no idea where I was coming from or what I was or anything, and they wrote these dumb things for us, so we were constantly having to change everything at the last minute. And the unions were set up, so we had to do all our recording the night before, and I was staying up till 2 in the morning and then getting up at 6 to tape, videotape the next day. And that's bad for your career,
The funny thing is, though, Bob, that we have people that still remember that show. Now, that was in 1977, so it was 76. Many years.
Well, it was very highly rated.
Oh, yeah, it was. It did very well. But the funny thing is that the things that we thought were the dumbest are the things that people remember, like the bionic watermelon.
Oh, I like that one.
What does that say about us,
That was bizarre.
So maybe we shouldn't have fought it. Maybe we should have just gone along with it,
Got to take a break. When I come back, I want to ask you about your talk show.
Okay,
we had a
great.
talk show for a while. We'll come back and talk more with Toni Tennille and Daryl Dragon, the Captain and Tennille.
If you love someone who's into sports, this Christmas you're going to love getting into Cookish.
Winter warms up with sports craft hockey, soccer, and five-a-side. The perfect gift comes wrapped and ready for Santa. And if you have a favorite golfer, give America's favorite golf balls, plus men's and women's gloves by Dunlop. Cookish brings season's greetings with indoor and outdoor fun.
Yeah?
Something spectacular awaits you at all 4 Cookish locations.
Feel the comforting surge of massaging waters with a Pollenex portable whirlpool bath. Rush temporary relief to minor arthritis pain, nagging backache, ease tension, temporarily improve circulation. Feel the comforting surge of massaging waters with a whirlpool bath at a price you can afford. From Pollenex.
Turn your bath into a Whirlpool hot tub, available at these fine stores.
Introducing Folgers Red Brick Bag. It's the freshest idea in coffee.
We got a fresh idea. It's gonna hit you like a brick. We take fresh coffee and do a little trick. Take out all the air, make a solid brick of flavor. Open up to freshness, you're gonna savor. Mountain grown Folgers in a red brick bag. It's gonna hit you like a brick.
Folgers Brick Bag. The freshest idea in regular and decaffeinated coffee.
Furniture bankruptcy sale. The dining and bar stool collection stores have been closed and everything has been moved to warehouse locations in Burnsville and West St. Paul. In accordance with the federal bankruptcy court, everything must be sold. There's dining rooms, living rooms, and bedroom sets, furniture for virtually every room in your home. Find the furniture bankruptcy sale in Burnsville at 1945 West Burnsville Parkway in the Valley Ridge Shopping Center and in West St. Paul at 1425 South Robert next to Menards. We're open tonight until 8, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from 12 to 5.
We all know that the divorce rate is extremely high, but did you know that a factor that breaks up more than half of all marriages is adultery? What happens when the love for your husband or wife isn't enough to keep the two of you together? Are there steps that you can take to affair-proof your marriage? On Thursday's Twin Cities Live, we will show you just that, and we'd like you to come down and be a part of the show. So whether you're married, single, or divorced, or separated, give us a call, 641-1298. If another woman or another man came between you and your spouse, well, I'd like you to give us a call and maybe take part in the show. It's 641-1298 is the number to call, so you can be a part of this on Twin Cities Live.
More than you know.
Great. Before I get to my buddy here, you got a question. I got to ask you first about the 30s and 40s music and how you got. I know how you got into it because I did the show with you a year ago. Good Company. There's a lot of history behind that in your family. That kind of music.
Yeah, my dad sang with Bob Crosby and his Bobcats back in the 1930s, and he couldn't continue in that business because he had to go take over the furniture store at home, our family business. But he always loved the music, and he was a fine musician, is a fine musician, and he raised me on that music. So when the opportunity came for me to be able to record it, and I've just released my second album of it, which will be out on television. We're selling it on television.
What's the name of the album?
In January. It's called Moonglow. Second one's called Moonglow, and it's swings a little more. It's a little more bassy-esque, you know, a little more up-tempo. But it's great fun.
Go ahead, Al.
Well, my question is for Daryl. Your father, Carmen Dragon, was a biggie back in the 40s, 50s, and more in a classical sense. Did you then have some classical background that was kind of maybe pushed on you, or maybe you liked it? I don't know.
Before you answer that, why don't you, for those of us who may not be familiar with your father, explain to us, what he did in the world of show business?
Well, my father started out as a radio conductor. He conducted for the
Steel Hour, the Railroad
Hour? Well,
Hour.
the Standard Hour, the Railroad Hour, and one more.
Fanny Bryce.
Fanny Bryce show. So he goes way back to the mid-30s. And he had all this experience as a conductor, so naturally, and plus, even though he was my father, I believe he was one of the most talented people in music that I'd ever been associated with, and I had met a lot of people in the business, and he just constantly amazed me. Anyway, I can brag all I want, but he had like 30 albums and for Capitol Records. And,
why didn't you move into that type of music?
I was involved from the time I was about 3. I was given classical training. And I figured someday I would get involved in classical, and I still do believe that I will get in classical music. When I'm at home, I listen to classical all the time, and if you listen to the arrangements I do, some musicians have been able to hear the classical influence that I put in there. I consider Bach one of the heaviest boogie players that ever existed. I mean, he could have been,
Good morning. You're on Twin Cities Live. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Toni.
Good morning.
Yes, you have such a strong background in 30s and 40s and pop music. How is it that you were on Pink Floyd's The Wall, and what did you do on the album?
Okay, he's referring to the great album by the Pink Floyd group called The Wall. I got a call from Bruce Johnston, who Daryl and I have known for years, who's with the Beach Boys, that they were doing a session, Pink Floyd was doing a session in Los Angeles, and they needed some background singers, and I had done some work with Bruce on some Elton John albums. And he asked me if I'd be interested. Well, at the time, I have to tell you, I was not really familiar with Pink Floyd. I thought that they were a heavy metal rock group, which they're not. They're much more than that. But I went down to do the session because I always keep a musical open mind, as all people should do. It turned out to be a wonderful experience. I enjoyed doing the session so much, and later on, after the album was done, and they did their great show, in Los Angeles, Daryl and I were their guests at the performance, which is one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen on stage in any shape or form. That's how it all came about, and it is true.
Yeah, I used to watch you on television all the time, and I was hoping, are you going to come back on television?
Well, it's wonderful that you should say that, because we are talking about coming back in a variety type of show. Now, not the big once-a-week gigantic thing that we used to do, but more a variety talk show on the order of what Dinah Shore used to do. Well, thank you. We're thinking about it.
So you will come back to TV. You had a talk show.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that talk show, and did you enjoy it? I mean, you've been in television twice now, and you want to get back into it again?
Mm-hmm. Well, television is a medium that keeps your career alive. It keeps you alive because people see you. I cannot tell you how often Daryl and I hear when we're out shopping or walking around in public, somebody will say, are you still doing anything? And the only reason they say that is because we're not on television regularly. Yes, we still do concerts, we still do all this, that, and the other, but if they don't see you on television, they think you don't do anything anymore.
You're performing constantly, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, oh, constantly. So it's nice to go on television just so people know, yes, we're still doing something. You know, we are still.
How do you look so good? How do you keep yourself looking so good? You're great.
How do you look so good?
My mom and dad are attractive people. Thank you for saying that. I exercise. I try to eat right. Daryl's a real health food nut in the family, though.
They weren't asking me.
Well, no, you look. Daryl looks incredible.
No, don't you think the captain looks nice too?
He looks great.
You're very. Now I know that you're into the outdoors.
Yeah.
Very much so. Daryl, do you partake of that at all? Are you
In
into?
the summer, yeah. We were in Hawaii. I had a ball just about a month ago, but I'm not much for snow and stuff like that.
And we live in the mountains, so he has to deal with the snow. Once in a while, I get him out on the cross-country skis, but he doesn't
go
really
so
enjoy
deep.
that.
Yes. Good morning. You're on Twin Cities Live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you know, they were saying on the talk show, when they had the talk show, that they were vegetarians, and I was wondering if they're still vegetarians and how they're doing on this vegetarian diet or whatever it's called.
Yes, we're both still vegetarians, and we're still healthy. I mean, it's working. Daryl's been a vegetarian for how long? 20 years?
It's 12 hours. There was a mistake last night. I ordered zucchini, and they had ham in it.
Right, Daryl.
And I didn't notice it until about halfway through, and it's going to take me about 3 years to get over this.
3 years to get that out of your system?
Yeah.
Where do you get your ideas to write your songs like Muskrat Love? Where those ideas come from?
Well, now
we have a lot of muskrats in this state. I mean, were you coming through town?
It's wonderful. You know, we did that. When we did a concert in Australia, it was interesting because nobody knew what muskrats were in Australia, so we had to make it Wombat Love, which is what they knew down there.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
No, really, wombats, and they look kind of like muskrats. They're kind of cute.
You inserted the word wombat instead of
koala.
wombat?
No, it was Wombat Love.
Koala Love.
No, the koala didn't work. I didn't write Muskrat Love. Willis Allen Ramsey wrote that. I wrote Do That to Me One More Time and The Way I Want to Touch You. And I've written most of the songs for this new album that we have coming up, which we're calling Boy Crazy, by the way, because when I started writing, the songs seemed to be about guys, they had men's names in them. And Daryl said,
How do you feel about that, Daryl?
We got in big trouble the last time we did a talk show on that, and I don't...
No.
Well, all of these men have nothing to do with Daryl. They're just dream men.
Right.
You know.
Davy is not Davy Lopes.
Davy is Davy Lopes.
Right.
The baseball player, because his wife is a real good friend of mine, and I called her up and asked permission first.
Sure.
No, it's true. I called Lynn, and I said, do you mind if I use Davy's name in a song? It's really nothing. And she said,
sure. Oh, sure, no problem.
No, she did.
You know what scares me? We did this tune called Denny on the last show, and...
Denny's such a flirt.
Denny just happens to be my brother's name.
Well, it's a song about a flirtatious guy who's always flirting with the girls, and his brother came to mind. Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys came to mind.
You ever hear of the Surf Punks here?
The Surf Punks?
Maybe one out of all of you.
No.
They're big on the West. Anywhere there's surf, they know about them. You know, and
that's his brother.
That's my brother. Yeah, he's the leader of the group. They're not even a punk band.
They're not even what?
They're not even a punk band.
But they call themselves the Surf.
Yeah, well, that's Anything else? Oh.
We'll be right back with the Captain and Tennille. Hi, I'm Bob Bruce, and this is my son, and one of the joys of being a father is watching him open up presents on Christmas morning. But not all parents are so fortunate. In fact, many children will go without gifts this year unless you can help. Next time you shop, please pick up an extra toy and bring it to any Toys for Tots collection point, including KSTP TV at 3415 University Avenue. Each toy will bring a smile to a worthy child. After all, isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Time takes you beyond the news.
Time flies and you are there. Time cries and lets you care. You understand the world we share.
When you read Time each week, you know more. You understand.
Throughout your world, throughout your lifetime, puts it all right in your hand. Read Time and understand.
What's the name of your new liquid bleach?
I don't use liquid bleach.
But your sweatshirt looks so white.
And your elephant didn't fade like my clown.
Aw.
I don't use liquid bleach. I found a new detergent.
A new detergent?
Right, new Oxidol with faster dissolving crystals with color-safe bleach. Look, 2 berry-stained shirts. Guess which one Oxidol whitened and which liquid bleach did? Look at the faded color.
What's your new liquid bleach? She doesn't use liquid bleach.
Try new Oxidol. It whitens without the worry of liquid bleach.
Did you make 2 trips to get your eyeglasses? Never again. At Lens Crafters, we'll precision grind your new eyeglasses in about an hour, even bifocals. Listen.
Within an hour, both pairs of our bifocals were ready.
Got a much better eye exam.
The selection was great. I broke my glasses on the day of the big golf tournament, so I came here and was in and out in about an hour.
Why make 2 trips?
Lens Crafters. Glasses in about an hour. Now in Burnsville Center, upper level, near Dayton's.
I thought it was fantastic.
We are talking with Toni Tennille and Daryl Dragon, who are, of course, the Captain and Tennille. They're in town. They're going to be appearing at the Carlton Celebrity Room tomorrow night through Saturday.
Yeah, 1 show Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 on Saturday. And we'd love for you to come and see it. We're real proud of the show. We think it's great.
I'm going to ask you about how that show differs from what you did last year.
Oh, boy.
With the 30s and 40s, because it is quite a big difference. But
yeah.
Let me first take this phone call. Thank you for holding on the line. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to say we're all looking forward to seeing Toni and hear Toni sing tonight at the North Star game.
Oh, that's right. I'm doing the Canadian anthem and the American anthem tonight at the hockey game, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic.
They asked me to do it. I'm thrilled to death to do it, yeah.
If there's one thing that's going to get us through Edmonton, it's going to be Toni.
Okay, well, I'll try to sing Oh Say Can You See better than Oh Canada. I'll do that.
All right.
Yes.
No, I've got to do them equally as well.
You know the words of Oh Canada?
Oh, sure, yeah. I've been singing Oh Canada since before they changed the words. They had too many We Stand on Guards for Thee and in the original version, and they had to change it so it was a little less of that, yeah.
Because you sing the national anthem out at Dodger Stadium a lot, don't you? You're a very big baseball fan.
I've sung the national anthem all over the country for World Series games and playoff games for football, but this is my first hockey game.
Are you into baseball at all, Daryl? I know she's a fanatic when it comes to the game. Are you into it at all?
Oh, yeah, I taught her everything she knows. No, actually, our manager Bruno is he was almost a professional pitcher, so he really informed. Toni knows a lot about baseball.
He coached baseball.
Well, could you tell us how to get the Minnesota Twins winning again? That's what.
Get Mickey Hatcher playing more often. And his wife's a real good friend of mine. She's a backpacking buddy of mine, so I don't know. If I knew, I'd own a team.
Do you both backpack? Are you both into this?
If it isn't overnight.
Look at the. You should see the look on Toni's face. And I said, "Do you both backpack?" And she goes,
Toni spends. She'll go out for a week.
Yeah, like I said, Debbie Hatcher is one of my backpacking buddies. Once a year we get together with a group of gals and go out into the high Sierras, and then I backpack as often as I can. Daryl will do any hiking or climbing that he doesn't have to do overnight.
Right.
If it's overnight, he won't do it. But I have my girlfriends that I do the overnight stuff.
It's the bathroom facilities. The lack of. It's primitive.
I was going to ask if you have any extra time, what do you like to do in that time as far as hobbies or rest and relaxation?
I'm making my first quilt right now. I've just put it together. I did it all by hand. Who quilts here? Anybody do any quilting? Mm-hmm. It's a trip around the world pattern. And I've just put it all together, and now I'm actually doing the quilting, and I'm just loving every minute of it. I do a lot of needlework when I have free time.
I just wanted to say that my husband loves wild socks, but I think Daryl's got him beat today.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Can we get a shot of those socks?
There you go.
Now,
Toni's responsible for everything I have on. Except this.
Your black plastic watch I've been trying to get rid of for a long time.
It's snowproof. Now, we see a lot of Toni recently because of the 30s and the 40s songs that you've been singing with different orchestras around the country. But, Daryl, what have you been doing during all this time? I know that you have a recording studio, but what have you been doing as far as the other side of the business?
That's it.
Nice.
It's, I have a computer, and that's really locked me into, I mean, I have a lot to catch up with because I'm not really math-oriented, but it's absolutely fascinating to me to work with sound and computer.
What's the name of the studio?
Well, it's my own. It's just in my basement.
No, he's talking about the one we own in
the
Los Angeles.
Well, we don't spend much time there. We have other groups basically booking there. It's called Rumbo Recorders.
REO Speedwagon's in there right now. They did their last gold album, platinum album there. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. We've had all the big artists in there recording. So it's been very successful.
Well for you then.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Do you miss LA at all now that you're out of that?
No.
You know.
No. The only thing I do when I'm in Los Angeles on business is I can do some shopping. We don't have too many real fancy stores up in Tahoe, so I catch up on my shopping when I go to LA.
Now we have a special treat for you. The audience is they're ready to go wild on this one. The captain is going to play, Daryl will play another little selection for us, but now we had a little fun with the last one, clapping and getting crazy, but now this time it's going to be a little, this is a classic. It's you could almost call it classical, very subdued,
right.
low-key sort of thing, but just kind of eat someone through the morning.
It's a Chopin piece.
Here, yeah, okay, if you will, please, sir, to the keyboard.
This is news to me, I'll tell you.
Let's get in the proper mood here.
It's called Great Balls of Fire.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Hi, this is Play It Again Sports, a consignment sporting goods store.
A place where you can actually get money for your used sports equipment.
We now have 2 stores full of hockey equipment, downhill and cross-country skis, boots and poles, weight training and exercise equipment, and just about every kind of sports equipment.
Remember, you can save money and earn money when you bring in all your used or outgrown sports equipment to Play It Again Sports, now at 2 locations, our new North Store in Brooklyn Park on Highway 169 and the South Store at 35th and Hennepin.
We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza. Tombstone, we're a ladle down and loaded up with lots of mozzarella on the pizza. Tombstone,
we pile on the goodness, we're loaded with real cheese.
We're sure the taste of Tombstone's gonna please your family. We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza. Tombstone, made the way you make your very own. Tombstone.
It's holiday shopping time at Har Mar Mall. This Christmas, celebrate in the true country tradition with handcrafted gifts and accessories from Mill Creek Country Furnishings. Step into the past. Bring back the warmth of a real country Christmas. Mill Creek has gifts you'll love to give and love to keep to bring the holidays home in true country tradition. Mill Creek Country Furnishings.
See what's happening now at Har Mar Mall.
holiday shopping at Har Mar Mall on Snelling Avenue in Roseville, just south of Highway 36.
Northern bathroom tissue has a special kind of softness because it's quilted. And you can feel the difference quilting makes. Northern, quilted for a special kind of softness.
All right, once again, New Year's is just around the corner, and that means that most of us will start making our New Year's resolutions, right? How many people are going to make New Year's resolutions? Quite a few. I'll make some more again. Maybe you want to quit smoking. Maybe you want to lose some weight. Maybe you just want to be on time from now on. But sticking to your New Year's resolution is very, very hard, as we all know. And you'll probably be back to your old ways before Groundhog's Day, unless you're a part of our studio audience on Friday, when our guests will demonstrate how hypnosis can help you quit smoking, lose weight, how to stick to your New Year's resolution. The number to call is 641-1298 for free tickets to this show on the powers of hypnosis. And you're going to need to be here at 7:45 in the morning because this is a special morning taping, so you may need hypnosis to get here that early. So it will be live. Now, our live show Friday will demonstrate the psychological effects of beauty makeovers. Now, this is going to be a fascinating show. We're going to find out why looking great doesn't necessarily make some people feel great. That's two shows back-to-back, hypnosis and reverse beauty makeovers. Should be an interesting morning, to say the least. 641-1298 is the number to call for tickets.
It's a reverse beauty makeover.
I know you were asked to sing at the White House, and you sang Muskrat Love.
Yes.
Did that create a controversy, and what was it?
Yes, that created quite a bit of controversy.
Muskrat Love?
Muskrat Love. Well, you've got to remember that this was in 1976. At that time, Muskrat Love was not a hit record for us. We hadn't even released it as a single. My memories of that evening, in fact, there's a new book out called Music at the White House that mentions our performance as one of the most uncomfortable performances ever at the White House. It was for the Fords and Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. And Betty Ford asked me before the show at rehearsal if I would please do The Way I Want to Touch You, which I had thought, gee, that's a little, I wouldn't want to do that at the White House. But she asked me to do it, so we did. And I was thinking that was the one I was concerned about. Later on, we did Muskrat Love because we thought it was fun, kind of Disney-esque characters and kind of cute. Well, the uproar after we did Muskrat Love at the White House, Julia Child with her nose in the air saying, that was a song of sexual innuendo, totally inappropriate for royalty. I mean, what is sexual innuendo in Muskrat Love? It's a cute little, it's like Mickey and Minnie Mouse. So, no, it is. So this has been a really great controversy, and I guess we are now notorious in history as being one of the weirdest concerts ever at the White House.
I can't believe it. Go ahead.
Toni, I must know, where were you raised and your love for the great out-of-doors and animals?
Okay, I was born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama. Never saw a mountain in my life until my family took a trip across the country when I was 16 to California. But when I saw the High Sierras, I fell in love. I knew that was where I wanted to live. And eventually, that is where I live now, in the high mountains.
A log house.
In a log home, yeah.
In a log home?
Mm-hmm. That Daryl designed. 12-inch cedar logs and Sierra granite.
We have the same kind of scenery here in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, only there aren't that big of hills.
Well, yeah, it's a little flatter here, but there's something, you know, it's a funny thing. It's a spiritual thing about the mountains. To me, it's like you're always looking up, you're aspiring upward, you're thinking higher, and I don't know what it is that draws me to the top of them, but now I climb them whenever I can. I have a group of friends that go out with me, and we pick the mountains around where we live and climb.
What are you going to do during the holidays? What do showbiz people do
well,
during
this year,
the holidays?
fortunately, we're going to be home.
Are you?
At our home in Tahoe, and we have our neighbors in a couple of days before Christmas to sing Christmas carols. And we all gather, about 20 of us gather in the house.
Well, you're working at
and sing carols.
On the 26th.
Yeah, and then the day after Christmas, I open with the big band music at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, the day after Christmas through New Year's Eve.
December 26th, Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Toni,
Caesar's Palace.
Get that in there so all the people
Yeah,
can be out
if you
there. A lot
wanted
of
to
people go
spread
out
out.
there where it's warm this time of year from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Let me ask you the show tonight, tomorrow night at the Carlton. And what type of music? I mean, do you throw a couple of the 30s and 40s songs in there? Or is it, Daryl, maybe you're probably the, what kind of music are you going to throw at us?
It's everything that we're known for, you know, all of our old hits.
All of our hits.
Plus
some new things.
Well, what do you do? You do 2 tunes, don't you?
Well, I'll just do one, probably. And then we do a Beach Boy medley, 11 minutes of our favorite Beach Boy tunes in full harmony, which is wonderful. Daryl does some heavy rock and roll, and it's just fun. It's a fun show.
Do you have a favorite song? I know this is, you know, you write songs and you've had so many that have been successful, but is there one song that always strikes a little bit more of a special spot in your heart than others?
I wish I could say there was, but it's like asking a woman with 5 children which one's your favorite. You know, there really isn't a favorite. They're all fun for different reasons. It's fun to watch people get into Love Will Keep Us Together. It always seems to make everybody happy, and I enjoy it for that reason. But usually it's the newest song. You know, it's the newest one I'm doing that's fun for me.
Because it's fresh and new. We'll be right back with more with Toni, Tennille, and Daryl Dragon after this.
I'd like to show you why Kozlak's Royal Oak Restaurant in suburban Shoreview is one of my favorite restaurants in all America. Great food, lunch and dinner. Fabulous New Orleans Sunday jazz brunch. The gardens, dining with delightful views. Outstanding private party and meeting facilities. A knowledgeable, caring staff. Come enjoy with me the beauty and bounty that is Kozlak's Royal Oak Restaurant.
Oh no, forgot to add the fabric softener, gotta run. Whoa!
If only she knew about Solo. You can't forget the softener in Solo. Because Solo is detergent and fabric softener in one. Look, these muddy sweatshirts came out clean, but Solo's clean is so soft, it's fluffed up higher.
Wait! You didn't wait.
Next time, get Solo. It cleans with a softness you can't forget.
You get to feeling kind of special because you're special at your country club market, your neighborhood store.
For a delicious meal in minutes, pick up any of these banquet dinners, just 79 cents each this week. Tasty Bernatello sausage and pepperoni pizzas are specially priced at $2.29. And stock up on Cottonelle bathroom tissue in white or assorted prints, only 89 cents for the 4-roll pack.
What's really special at Country Club is you.
Seiko orchestrates the movement of time. Finely tuned thinness. Synchronized design. A spirit of innovation. Seiko quartz clocks. Moving time into the future.
Available at Dayton's.
Captain and Tennille will be performing at the Carlton Celebrity Dinner Theater December 10th through the 13th out at the Carlton. 854-9300 is the number to call. And from what they said about the show, I got to get out there and see because you got Beach Boy music, you got favorites. Let me go to this phone call real quick. Go right ahead. You're talking to the Captain and Tennille.
Hi, hello? Yes. I have all your albums, and I'm curious about your relationship. If you could tell us a little bit more about that, both Captain and Tennille. Was it 11 happy years, or it seemed to me kind of going through your albums, it might have paralleled like a dip in your relationship or something, like with the Lonely Nights, you were singing Can't Get You Out of My Mind, and then
what are you trying to say? These folks have had marital problems? I mean, let's...
Has it been 11 happy years, or was the music kind of conveying kind of an almost sort of
okay,
party,
all right,
and then
let's let him answer.
definitely back together at the end?
I understand what she's saying. No, Lonely Nights was written by Neil Sedaka and Howard Greenfield, and it just was a fun tune. The music has really nothing to do with our relationship. The first 2 years were the toughest for me and Daryl because he is a quiet guy and doesn't want to talk about problems, and I insist on talking about them. So it took us 2 years to make sure that we talked our problems out into the open, and since then it's been pretty nice.
I think the first 2 years is tough for any marriage.
Yeah.
Of all the entertainers that you've performed with, do you have a favorite that stands out in your mind?
Boy, that's really tough because there's so many wonderful people in the business. I think the one you had the most fun with was probably B.B. King, right?
Mm-hmm. And Fats Domino.
And Fats. And,
but I was thinking of the sparks you sang with on our show. Didn't you have a few people?
Well, Ella Fitzgerald, when I sang with Ella, and Sarah Vaughan, that was a great
Seems like
thrill
you and
for me.
Dionne really happened.
Dionne Warwick and I got along real well singing together. Those are a few I can think of.
I was just wondering if you bring your own equipment along so you don't have to subpar equipment.
Do you mean all the audio and all the...
Like
yeah, we carry everything except the piano.
Yeah, we have a...
I just...
Maybe you should have brought a piano down here today.
Well,
yeah, we have a semi-truck that brings all of our equipment.
I was going to ask you, what day is your Moonglow album coming out?
What is the new album?
Moonglow will be offered on television beginning about the middle of January.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back in just a second with more questions. I want to thank you for being with us today.
Wonderful. We loved it,
Glad
Bob.
you could come down and visit with us for just a while.
Enjoyed it.
Hotel accommodations and dining provided by the Radisson University Hotel, 615 Washington Avenue Southeast on the University of Minnesota East Bank campus. Limousine service for the guests of Twin Cities Live, provided by Henderson Chauffeured Cadillacs. Bob Bruce's wardrobe is provided by Justers. Hair and makeup provided by Take 5, 504 North 1st Avenue in the Butler Building.
It's interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is for the captain.
It's out now? It is. It's because of...
Daryl?
Oh, that's
Daryl?
right.
Go ahead.
Do you prefer just all the electronic keyboards, or do you like the old grand pianos? And that
I can
kind of thing?
appreciate the old pianos, but the electronics have taken over. There's no question about it.
Once again, thank you for being here. They'll be at the Carlton Celebrity Room tomorrow night through Saturday. Good luck to you in the future, and we hope we get to see more of you on TV and wherever we get a chance. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Toni Tennille and Daryl Graham.
Your Christmas is brighter at Snyder's, the old corner drugstore for today.
Stock up and save on every...
Doctors.